We mustn't shy away from the UK's own issues with racism. Within our own police, there are some stark statistics that speak to bias. Black people are 9 times more likely to be stopped and searched by police in England and Wales, and 3 times more likely to be arrested. And while 3% of the UK's population is black, 8% of deaths in custody are those of black people. Well, joining me now is Kevin Maxwell. He served as a detective in both Greater Manchester and London's Metropolitan Police Forces. He was the first black gay detective in London, and in his new book, Forced Out, he claims systemic racism is a problem for police in the UK. Good evening to you, Kevin. Thanks for coming on the show tonight. First, can I just start by asking, what was life like for you working as a black man and a gay man within the police force?
Hi, CL. I don't want to mince my words. Being a black gay officer in Britain's police was difficult. I don't want to make out that every day was awful, but there is a problem with systemic racism and, to a degree, homophobia still in our police force. And that's the reason I wrote my book, Forced Out, to try and make things better.
Why would you say there was a problem? What did you see that you've come to this conclusion?
Well, the conclusion is my lived experience. You know, I'm a black gay guy who's served in 2 of Britain's biggest police forces, Greater Manchester Police and London's Metropolitan Police. I'm not an armchair opinionator with regards to the police. You know, I've walked the beat, you know, driven the vehicles, worked in plain clothes, worked in the CID. You know, I've lived the experience. That's why I say what I say.
Mm. From the point of view of Neil Basu, he is one of the most, if not the most senior Metropolitan Police officer of colour. He says as far as the policies within the police force are concerned, that isn't systemically racist. Would you agree with that? Where would you find, or where do you believe the racism in the police force lies?
Well, I would disagree. Racism within Britain's police is structural. You know, we need to listen and learn from voices like mine. It's pointless beating around the bush. We need to have these difficult conversations if we're going to make our police force better. I heard the comments of Neil Basu recently about asking colleagues to call out racism. I don't want to make it personal about him, but he was aware of my case. And what did the leadership do to call out the racism I experienced? I had to take the police to court for my voice to be heard. It's almost like different messages.
So we don't have Neil Basu's response to your claims against him, but we do have a response from the National Police Chiefs Council, which says that officers are trained to use force proportionately, lawfully, and only when absolutely necessary. We strive to continuously learn and improve. We will tackle bias, racism, or discrimination wherever we find it. How do you think, in terms of your claims and what you say you've seen, how do you think that affected and impacted in terms of the way the police force treated Black Britain, black people?
Of course, it affects confidence in the police. I'm not going to sit here as a former officer and bash every police officer. You know, I know good police officers, but there is a problem, a systemic problem with regards to race and discrimination. You mentioned yourself the stats. We can all reel off the stats with regards to, 9 times more likely to be stopped searched, 3 times more likely to be arrested, 3 times more likely to be tasered. You know, these are the police's own stats. There is a problem, and this is the issue with leadership. I see it with regards to the police, is that we need to own it and then deal with it and then tackle it. You know, denying that there's a problem doesn't solve anything.
How do you think it should be tackled?
We need to have these difficult conversations we're having now, the conversation you and I are having. You know, we need to sit down. I don't want to make it personal about any individual. I was just commenting on, a point you made to me. We need to have these hard, difficult conversations to make our police service better, fit for purpose for everybody, for all citizens, regardless of race, sexuality.
OK, Kevin Maxwell, we are going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much for talking to 5 News tonight.